Starting left wing, number 9, Sean Williams. From the Kalamazoo, Brad Berry. Number 11, Steve Gaddis. Number 17, Steve Malte. Number 12, Mitch Messier. From the Milwaukee Admirals, number 8, Andrew McBain.
I'm sorry.
Number 14, Eric Morano. Number 18, Rob Murphy. Number 4, Phil Von Stefanelli. From the Muskegon Lumberjacks, number 15, Jock Callender. Starting right defenseman, number 6, Gord Deneen. Number 1, Rob Dobson. Number 27, Dave McKillop. And number 25, Todd Nelson. The East Division All-Stars.
There you have the East Division All-Stars in the traveling red uniforms. And the West Division All-Stars are the home team in this game tonight, and that's because when the Atlanta Knights join the International Hockey League next season, they will play in the Western Division.
And now our IHL West Division All-Stars. From the Kansas City Blades, starting right wing, number 20, Jeff Medill. Starting left defense, number 6, Pat McLeod. Number 1, Artur Urbe. Starting goaltender, number 33, Wade Flaherty. Starting center, number 15, Gary Emmons. From the Peoria Rivermen, number 25, Dominic Lavoie. Number 16, Dave Mackey. Number 7, Brian McKee. Number 26, Steve Tuttle. From the Phoenix Roadrunners, starting right defenseman, number 5, Rene Chapdelaine. Starting left wing, number 4, Sean McCosh. Number 31, Sean White. From the Salt Lake City Golden Eagles, number 28, Todd Harkins. Number 9, Sean Hafey. Number 3, Kevin Wortman. From the San Diego Gulls, number 23, Alan Heppel. Number 12, Robbie Nichols. And number 8, Ray Whitney. At the players' benches, the coaches and trainers for the West Division All-Stars. Coach from the Kansas City Blades, Kevin Constantine. And head coach of the San Diego Gulls, Don Waddell. Trainers for the West Division, trainer from the Kansas City Blades, Tim Leroy. And trainer from San Diego, Larry Roberts. The IHL West Division All-Stars.
Kevin Constantine, the coach of the West out of Kansas City. John, you brought him into hockey.
Kevin was the assistant at Kalamazoo under me for 3 years, and I don't know if the student learned more than the teacher or not, but he's done a tremendous job.
Kansas City, in their second year, having a spectacular run so far this season. To have a look at the referee for tonight's game, Dan O'Halloran, in his third year in the NHL training program, 27 years old, grew up in Essex, Ontario. And Dan will be mic'd during the course of the game, and we think that will be interesting.
I talked to Dan prior to tonight's game. I asked him if he was going to do anything different than the regular season. He said, no, it's back to work. It's a normal game. He said, I had my pregame meal of pizza, which is, I guess, like a mostaccioli. So it's a regular game for Dan and the linesmen, and I think they will call it like they see it.
Andy McKelvin and Jay Jacobs, the linesmen, and there you see Mike O'Neill from the Fort Wayne Comets. He's 5'7", 155 pounds, 24 years old, and in 25 games, he's 17-5-2. He's recorded 4 shutouts already this year, a sparkling 2.93 goals against average, starting for the East. He's got the night cam, that camera attached to the goalie helmet, as you get a look at what he is seeing directly through his helmet, and will have a most interesting view of the game through the goalie.
Thank you, Scott.
And that's Scott Cruel, one of the All-Stars, having a little fun with his teammate from Fort Wayne. Now, there you see Wade Flaherty out of Kansas City. He gets the start for the West All-Stars, 5'11", 160-pounder, just 23 years old. Also having an outstanding season, 19-9-1 in 29 games of action, a 3.07 goals against average. And John, a stat that you're interested in, more important than goals against average, the save percentage, and he's at 90%.
Well, it means that he's making 9 saves out of every 10 shots that's at him, but it can be a little deceiving. Where are those shots coming from? Are they from 15 feet out right in front of him, or are they from 35, 40 feet from the angle? A high save percentage generally means that he's got some good defense playing in front of him also.
With the night cam being mic'd, the referee is being mic'd.
Right.
Al Sims, the East head coach, All-Stars, is being mic'd. It's going to create a most interesting opportunity for you fans at home to get right in the midst of all this action right on the ice.
I like the shot right now with the night cam. You folks are going to be able to see shots coming at 90 miles an hour and how a goaltender has to react.
Let's again go downstairs to Mike Barrick. Mike?
Well, we're here at the Omni. You can see a very, very good crowd here tonight. The last NHL game played at the Omni was the 1980 playoff season. The Atlanta Flames losing to the New York Rangers. Back up to 10, and it should be fun here tonight.
And we're just about ready to start this hockey game. The West All-Stars in the white uniforms will move offensively to the left as you look at the screen, and the East in the red offensively to the right. Has Scott Cruel, number 24, right in the middle of the screen in red, decided to forego his helmet tonight?
That surprises me.
Apparently so.
Well, Cruel and Colin Chin at center are used to each other, and I'm sure Sean Williams, who plays for us in Indianapolis, is happy to play some quality defense.
We're going to go right there.
Players like that.
Right there. You see that spot that I just kicked into the ice? Here we go.
And Dan O'Halloran drops the puck. We're underway. And the West Division starts with control. McCosh of Phoenix, number 4, dumps it in. And Sean Williams of the Indianapolis Ice, number 9 in red, trying to beat the forechecking of the West. But McCosh with a nice drop pass. Out of the point. McLeod's shot knocked into the corner. But the West maintains possession. Here's McLeod. Out of the far corner, number 4 is again McCosh. Here to the near side, and Emmons, number 15, behind the net. And at this point in time, the East All-Stars just trying to get possession of the puck. The West, John Marks, good forechecking, has them all tied up.
Well, right now the West is looking fairly good. The East isn't taking anybody out. Right, there's a little tentative. Everybody's playing a little soft. They got to heat it up a little bit.
I would expect that if the East continues to have this kind of trouble, that you will see body on body here shortly. Now Gruel's drop pass connects with Dineen. Back to Gruel, the veteran. Now Dineen, his centering pass knocked behind the cage. And there it's picked up by Brian McKee, number 7. Intercepted by the East All-Stars in red. And Colin Chin, number 26, plays for Fort Wayne. He was born and raised in Fort Wayne, playing for his hometown Comets. Loses the puck, the West carries in. And the East able to take it away. And here's Jock Callender. What a great story he is out of Muskegon in the Pittsburgh organization. A back the other way with McKee, number 7. A long slap shot, and it's handled by O'Neill, and up over the glass into the crowd as McKee got all of that one. He's out of Peoria, Illinois. 11 goals this season so far.
Well, I said the first shift looked a little tentative. People were just kind of nudging up against each other. It's like, boy, we don't want to hurt anybody out here. The second, we had a change on the fly. Somebody came out. Calendar McCulloch approached the blue line. Boom, a hit. Maybe that'll lead to a little bit more.
Happy can't hang on to it. Battle for it along the far board, and here comes the East team. Here's Stapleton behind the defense. The booming shot, he scores!
You can give him one chance because you're not going to give Mike Stapleton 2 chances too often. A big shot.
And Flaherty just missed it. A long shot. He had a clean look at it, John. He just missed it. As Stapleton drove it home for the first score of the hockey game.
Dave McCulloch beats Mike Stapleton flying down the right side, and Mike picked it up on the fly. Good momentum. Got all of that shot, there's no question. And went through the 5-hole. Flaherty was a little late getting down on it, but big start for the East.
Another look at the blistering shot by Stapleton. And he scored. 1-0. The East leading the West. We played almost 3 minutes here at the Omni in Atlanta. Big Rob Murphy out of Milwaukee. Number 18 loses the puck. And the West All-Stars feed it ahead. Number 8 is Whitney, the youngster out of San Diego. Whitney with a little room. Whitney with a move, and he lost the puck. Whitney. Look at this little guy dance.
I said he was quick, Ken, and exciting, and walked right down the middle and just failed to get a shot away, but a heck of a play.
14 is Eric Murano. A shot, a save. A near miss there for Andrew McBain. The right winger out of Milwaukee had the shot, but what a fine save by Flaherty. Getting around the check on the far side tunnel. Out of Peoria dumps it in, but now the East comes the other way. Right back in the attack zone, McCulloch. Now Stapleton. Stapleton on a fake. Oh, and a nice save by Flaherty. As Stapleton went to the bag of tricks maybe once too often, Flaherty, dragging that skate behind, made a nice save. Jean-Marc Richard from Fort Wayne, number 7, keeps it alive. It comes here to the near side. And now it's the West All-Stars having trouble getting out of their own way. Kept alive in front. Messier, the rebound, and a glove save as Goddess. On a near miss, Steve Goddess, number 11, could not get it by Wade Flaherty. Goddess came close on that one. Goddess, an outstanding youngster, 22 goals so far for Kalamazoo. And McCosh can't clear the zone. Oh, McBain has his pocket picked. But it comes to Murphy. Across the line. Back for Murphy. To the far side. McBain shot. Nice save by Flaherty. The rebound. Another save by Flaherty. And finally, the West bangs it off the board all the way down. This, indeed, will be an icing call. When the puck is thrown from the defensive side of the red line all the way across the goal line, that's icing, and we'll go down and have a face-off down to our right. There you see Andrew McBain, the right winger from Milwaukee. Here's Whitney. Puts on the brakes behind the net. From a bad angle, it's right in the crease. Lavoie from the point. He's got the booming shot and a big save by O'Neill. Here's Colin Chin with Gruel. Gruel cutting in. Trying to roll it back toward Chin. He got on the backhand. Couldn't make the play. And the West clears the center. Jeff Circa feeds it right back, but it's knocked down by the West. Right in front. And they just missed. Jeff Medill was set up beautifully. Couldn't make the connection for the tying goal. But now Barry being chased down there by Mackey. Played along the far side by Whitney. Number 12 is Rob Nichols trying to find Whitney. He's all tied up, but a backhander save. Rebound, goal! The West ties it up on a rebound shot past Mike O'Neill. It's 1-1.
Well, in the last couple of minutes, I said maybe they have something to get excited about. And out of the corner from Nichols, I think it's Whitney here, controls the puck very well. I said he could handle it. Nichols return, goes to the net, rebound. Thank you very much.
Rob Nichols on the backhander. Here is what O'Neill was looking at as that puck eluded him on the rebound. He made the first save, which is his responsibility. Defense couldn't clear the puck. And Nichols, now, here's a breakaway for Gaddis. Gaddis, nice drop pass, and a near miss on that one. As Gaddis could feel the pressure trying to get the puck to Messier. Now across the line, Gaddis rolls it in front, a shot over the crossbar. Might have been high, but Flaherty got the blocker on it. Whitney couldn't take it away. Gaddis back to Malte, but Whitney does intercept there. Now Whitney throws it ahead, across the line from Mackey. Here to the near side. Number 7 in the corner is McKee, and he scores! What appeared for a moment to be a harmless play, and now the West leads the East 2-1.
Well, here's what we call, coaches call players getting a little tunnel vision. Plays in the corner, defensemen are looking at the puck carrier, and man's all alone in front. Nice pass to the front of the net, bang, snapped in. Defenseman got to look behind them, beside them, to see if anybody's free. Mackey's all alone and didn't make any mistake.
Mackey, a 20-goal scorer so far this year for Peoria. Originally drafted by Chicago in '84, puts the West on top 2-1. They've scored 2 goals in about a minute here late in the first period, with 10 seconds left. Now the West comes out of the zone. One long shot remaining. It's wide, and that's the end of the first period of play. The West leads the East in a game which saw the West dominate early. The East got the first goal and then had a lot of opportunities, John. Then the West comes back to 2 to take the lead.
Well, I said the first shift, it looked to me like the East came out a little soft, a little tentative. They spent that shift in their end. But they played well defensively. They really didn't give up anything. I said that they're going to have to pick it up. The next lineup picked it up. I think it was Stapleton and Callender, and McCulloch came out, had an excellent shift, followed another good shift, and the game certainly picked up its pace.
Al Sims will talk to his players about getting back in the hockey game. At the end of the first period of tonight's IHL All-Star game, it's 2-1. The West leads the East, and we'll be right back after these local messages.
Glad you've joined us here tonight. And boy, the International Hockey League, a tremendous tradition. 1945-46, the first year of the IHL. There have been some rough moments, there have been some exciting moments, and we'll take a look back at some of the interesting sidelights of the history of the International Hockey League.
It was a different style of fighting then than it is now. What happened more than not, what 2 individuals would meet at center ice, and it was kind of a gunslinger effect rather than a big scrum in the front of the net and a fight breaking out. They would almost call each other out and stand at center ice and go blow for blow, and there was a lot of pride involved in who was the toughest of the league and who was going to be the next toughest.
The IHL has always been colorful and competitive. The league was founded in 1945 and developed in the 1950s and early 1960s as a league where players drove to games and had other fuller part-time jobs. Located primarily in the Midwest, the league's reputation grew as a tough physical loop in such cities as Dayton, Columbus, and Toledo. And some consider the IHL as the Siberia of professional hockey. Although few consider the IHL as a developmental ground for the National Hockey League, the IHL has had some tremendous big-name and talented players, such as longtime Montreal Canadian John Ferguson, New York Islander goaltender Glenn Resch, and Olympic hero Mike Garuzioni. The longest-running IHL team are the Fort Wayne Comets, celebrating their 40th season in 1991-92. Broadcaster Bob Chase has called Fort Wayne Comet games for 39 years.
The Cincinnati Mohawks are one of the most awesome minor league hockey teams ever put together. Roland McClanahan was their coach. Charlie Hodge was one of their goaltenders. They came up with some of the great hockey players of later years. They went one season, and in a 60-game year, won 50, tied 2, and lost 8.
The great moments continue in the modern International Hockey League. Some of these have come from all-star games, such as the last contest in 1984 in Kalamazoo, Michigan. The All-Stars gained a 6-4 win against U.S. Olympians and future NHL players Pat LaFontaine, Al Iafrate, and Chris Chelios. During the past 5 seasons, the IHL has suddenly transformed itself from a Midwest bus league to one which features Major League buildings spanning all the way to the West Coast, with direct affiliation to the National Hockey League as a prime training ground.
So we've, in Salt Lake, have been very pleased with that growth because as those who follow the IHL know, it was a lot of years it was Salt Lake and the Midwest teams. And so the addition of the San Diegos, the Phoenixes, the Kansas Cities, and now Atlanta into the West is extremely beneficial to this franchise.
As the IHL truly becomes national in scope, the annual battle for the Turner Cup takes its place as one of hockey's premier events. Hope you enjoyed the piece on the history of the International Hockey League. Boy, this league has really gone a long way. The Peoria Rivermen last year won 18 consecutive games, a pro hockey record, and there are some tremendous buildings in this league, the Delta Center in Salt Lake City and the beautiful Bradley Center in Milwaukee. A gentleman that led his team to the Stanley Cup Championship. His minor league clubs in Muskegon have been very successful over the years. The Muskegon Lumberjacks, Craig Patrick, general manager of the Pittsburgh Penguins alongside, and what an event we have here in Atlanta.
Yeah, it's great to see hockey back in Atlanta. I remember coming here years ago, and it's just nice to see some excitement in the building full and people enjoying hockey again.
Tell us a little bit about the International Hockey League. The Penguins have a direct farm team with the Muskegon, Michigan club. Tell us a little bit about the quality of play.
Well, it's a top development league for National Hockey League clubs. We've been able to bring people like John Cullen and Mark Recchi and Phil Bork out of the International League. So now tonight we're seeing the best of the IHL has to offer. And there's some real quality players out there who someday will be playing in the National Hockey League.
Boy, Jock Canada and Dave McKillick, 2 players on the ice that have been just terrific year in and year out. Some time with the Pittsburgh Penguins, Jock Canada playing with Mario Lemieux, but they've really put on some big numbers over the years in Muskegon.
Well, they certainly have. They're very skilled players, both Dave and Jock, and they've had some time in the National Hockey League, but they're very, very skilled players, and we actually are fortunate to have 5 players here tonight, so we're excited about seeing them play in this level of hockey.
We talked about the quality of play in the International Hockey League growing in leaps and bounds. Atlanta in this upcoming season, Phoenix and San Diego and Salt Lake City and Kansas City. What do you think about the progression of the teams that have joined the IHL?
Well, I think it's great. We're spreading throughout the U.S. now. It used to be basically in the Midwest, the Michigan and Indiana area, but now it's spreading throughout into California and Arizona and now Georgia. So I think it's just terrific the way the league is expanding and involving all of the United States.
Do you see a further progression in the International Hockey League? Maybe some more big city clubs, of course, here in the Omni in Atlanta and other clubs throughout the United States?
Well, I think there's a great possibility that there will be further expansion. We have 3 or 4 leagues that are development leagues now for the National Hockey League, and they've got their tentacles into all parts of the United States, so I can see further development happening.
Direct affiliations to the National Hockey League seems to be the key in the IHL. 7 clubs, #1 affiliates of the National Hockey League.
Yes, we're the National Hockey League has their major affiliates in the IHL and the American Hockey League, and it's great development grounds for our clubs.
Craig, we have a terrific game here tonight, 2-1. In the NHL All-Star game, they say there's no hitting. We've seen a few hits here in the first period.
Well, they're playing with a lot more intensity than I expected to see. I think they realize it's a showcase for them because there's further expansion of the National Hockey League, and all of them realize there's NHL personnel here watching them. So they're looking for an opportunity to move upwards in the near future.
Craig, thank you very much. Best of luck to you and the Penguins, and best of luck to your Muskegon Lumberjacks team.
Thank you very much.
Craig Patrick, general manager of the Pittsburgh Penguins, my guest, and we'll go upstairs to Ken Double and John Marks.
We've switched ends as now the East shooting down here to the left, and this period starts with a quick opportunity for the West, thwarted there by O'Neill. Now the East coming right back. It's behind the cage, right in front. Backhander fired just wide by Malte. Now the puck comes along the near side, popped up in the air. Jeff Zirka jumping at it, trying to knock it back into the zone, couldn't. But now Mitch Messier throws it ahead. Across for teammate Steve Gottis, right in front for Messier, and he lost the puck. Good play by Sean McCosh, number 4, to break it up, but now Gottis keeps it alive. Now The shot steered wide. And now Colin Chin trying to come out of his own end. Gets hooked a little bit. Getting the sticks up a little bit, John.
Well, we might see a penalty call or power play situation pretty soon. A couple of hooks there.
Now Sean Williams trying to get around the defense. Good play to cut him off there by Heppel, number 23. Now it's right in front. A shot. Didn't get all of it. Now it's there for Williams, and he'll be called for the penalty.
I said, guys were hooking. It had to happen sooner or later.
And the guilty party is number 9, Sean Williams. Will have the call and more after this timeout. Behind the net, Rule. The East looks at a potential scoring opportunity. Short-handed. Chin gets it back and then had it stripped on a good play by Workman. Number 12 is Robbie Nichols. Drop pass for McKillick. Harry behind the cage. Bouncing puck is cleared but not out. Nelson keeps it alive. Gets it back. Fires. Knocked down in front. McKillick on a backhand. He scores! We've talked about him all night. Dave McKillick ties up the game at 2. The veteran from Muskegon, who had 23 goals coming into this game during the regular season, scores for the East squad.
There's a man that's scored over 100 points for 7 years in a row, and here's why. He's going to pick up a loose puck here. He shows a great amount of patience, takes a look, pulls it to his backhand, carves a goaltender wide open, and we say, like, set the table. Now he carved the turkey. Here, look at this patience. He's going to open him up between the legs. There's a guy that is used to scoring goals.
And McBain the other way fires one wide of the post. A funny bounce off the board keeps it alive for Eric Murano, number 14. Right in front, McBain, he scores!
There's a good show of strength and hand-eye coordination right there, Ken. That was a hard pass in front, and he controlled it and hammered it. And I think he had to because the Flaherty is right there. Let's take a look at this again. Out of the corner. Who's this? Morano. Worked hard for this puck. Gets it down to Murphy. And he fires this puck across. Look at McBain. He's just strength on stick. Boom. He forces that puck past Flaherty. Look at this. Second effort right there. Bango. Hard. Hand-eye. Boom. He had to hit it again. I see Flaherty actually made the first save on it. And McBain stayed right with it. Put it in. That was a good goal by all 3 people.
McBain had 27 goals in 47 games with Milwaukee a year ago. His best year, 88-89, 37 goals, 40 assists, 77 points in 80 games. His 9th season of professional hockey overall, second with Milwaukee. And here's Gruel for the East. He hits McKillick on the far side. He's got Chin in front. McKillick just fanned on him. Now Gruel. For McKillick. For Gruel. For Chin. He fanned on it. Didn't get all of it. The rebound. McKillick couldn't get it home. What an opportunity there. Now McKillick leaves it behind the net. And McKee, he just floats it to center ice. McKillick gets the pressure away, and now here they come the other way. 26 is Tuttle. Played here for Lavoie, too far for him in the corner. And the East All-Stars able to clear to center. 21 saves, 24 shots on goal. And O'Neill sits after having 10 saves, as you saw Arturs Urbe back in the net for the West All-Stars. And Urbe, an outstanding goaltender out of Riga, Latvia. He gets put to the test and a score on the first shot is popped over Urbe as Mitch Messier makes it a 4-2 hockey game in favor of the East All-Stars as Urbe gets tested right away and the puck gets behind him for a score.
I think Messier takes us out of the air. Here's Steve Goddess. Messier goes to the net off his skate, and then he taps, I think, off the skate. It might have jumped up, and I don't know if Mitch took it out of the air or took it off the skate and then just shot it in. But this is like, well, welcome to the game. See that? Off the skate onto Urbe's stick. It just went up, and I think Mitch just tapped it out of the air, about 3 or 4 inches out of the air.
And now at the other end, White on a near miss. There you see Rob Dobson in the East goal from the Muskegon Lumberjacks. 6 feet, 195-pounder, 24 years old. He's 9-7-1, 2 shutouts, an 89% save ratio. for Muskegon. And boy, did he get the test right away, Coach.
Didn't take long. Herbe immediately. Dobson again. His first shot was a tough one. The second one now threw a screen from the point. Another tough one. He just got his glove down. Here we go. West wins the draw. Here's defenseman McLeod. A little bit of a screen, I think. It looks like he's got it by his elbow in the pad. If he wasn't warmed up, he is now. Here we go.
Count the goal.
Oh, my goodness.
He couldn't hang on to that one, and McCosh makes it a 4-3 hockey game.
Just couldn't handle this shot from the blue line. And Brad Berry, defenseman from Kalamazoo, almost gets this puck before it goes over the line. 3 shots in about 15 seconds on Dodson.
Hitting the other way. Across the line is Tuttle. Tuttle leaves it in front for Whitney. Now Tuttle, now right in front, a shot and a goal! Brian McKee ties up the hockey game, and all of a sudden, the Biscuits going in the basket with alarming regularity.
Well, I tell you, the East were playing 5-on-4 in their own end for about 10 seconds. I watched Scotty Gruel come back, and he didn't hustle at all, which meant Brian McKee was wide open on this pass. Scott Gruel, here he is right here, very slow and coming up the ice, folks. I'm sorry, but you've got a back check. Take a little pride. I don't care if you're playing in the All-Star game or not. You've got to get back in your zone and help out. But good shot by McKee. Ties the game up.
Brian McKee, a 27-year-old, plays for Peoria. Signed as a free agent by the St. Louis organization. By San Jose, he doesn't sign. He goes to Europe and played about a month, and then came here as a free agent. There's a shot and a goal!
Just the man we're talking about.
Whitney tees it up in the slot, and he scored and puts the West back on top.
He's right in the right place. This kid knows where to go. I said face-offs were important. West wins the face-off, get control of the puck. McKee's going to go to a hole. Or Whitney's going to go to a hole. There it is. Boy, quick release. Got it upstairs. Dodson was going down. Look at the kid smiling. He's having fun. Watch this. Play to the slot. Quick release. Boom. Upstairs. I think the kid might have a future. I think I'd like to be his agent.
Here's Whitney. Now, when he finished his brief stint in Europe and signed as a free agent with San Diego, there were many in Kansas City upset because as a signee or a draftee of San Jose, they would have hoped that the youngster would have ended up at the San Jose Farm Club in Kansas City. But instead, he's firing on Kansas City. It's turned out to be quite an interesting story here in the IHL.
Well, normally if you're drafted as a youngster like he is, if you're not with the big club, with the San Jose team, for his big club, then if he's not with them, he's got to go back to junior. Donnie Waddell, the assistant coach with the West, they found a little loophole, and he's with San Diego playing very well.
West now dominating play. Here's Whitney behind the defense. Great save, and then he gets the rebound home. Whitney has scored 2 in a row.
Told you the kid's having fun. Shows a lot of quickness, a lot of speed. We hit on that at the top of the show, that the kid was exciting. And look at him smiling. Here we go. Look at him smiling. He's picking up the puck. Brian McKee turns his puck up very well. Look at him. Shows some speed, quickness. Controls it. Gets the shot. Stays with it. Well, you got kids watching out there. He stayed with it. He shot the puck. He didn't skate away from that. He stopped in front. He found his rebound. This kid was hungry. If you're going to be a goal scorer, you got to be hungry for the puck. Look at him. He just chewed off the bite and said, "Here, behind you."
And it's 6-4. The West All-Stars have scored 4 unanswered goals. Stapleton can't control. He's followed up on the play. Hollander can't control. Here comes Emmons. He's taken down, and a penalty coming up on the East. The shot on the save, and will finish the second period with a penalty called against the East All-Stars. And the West will have the bulk of a 2-minute manpower advantage in the start of the third period. We'll look at it here. Emmons heading up the rink.
Gary's got excellent speed and quickness, and he was about to break through the middle of the rink, and with his speed would have got a good shot on net, but he got tripped down.
Brad Berry out of Kalamazoo took him down. The face-off ends the second period, and I'll tell you what, an interesting period, John. The East comes away with a score right at the goalie change, which gave them a 2-goal lead midway through the period, but then 4 unanswered goals by the West All-Star, and little Ray Whitney really having a lot of fun.
Yes, he certainly is. A couple of those goals I mentioned right off of face-offs. The West wins the draws. Listen to hell. Listen to hell, give us a break. Come on. Anyway, they lost a couple of face-offs in the East Zone. I think Whitney got one. There was another rebound. I think McCosh put one in. We'll go over those in a bit, but just a little too loose in the East Zone. And right now, the West, their speed is showing a little.
The West,
they have a quicker team.
Outshot the East 16-13 in that period, leads 6-4 at the end of the second period of tonight's IHL All-Star game, and we'll be right back after these local messages.
It's not only hockey, but it's bungee jumping.
Guy's nuts. He's nuts.
There are many who say that about hockey players and what they face on the rink.
At least we wear helmets.
Let's take another look at bungee jumping from the top of the Omni in Atlanta, Georgia. And I think, John Marks, we need your expert color commentary.
I'm afraid to dive out of my pontoon. You wouldn't catch me jumping out of a roof. That's got to be a thrill, I'll tell you. That's really got to be a thrill. And then, you don't know where you're going to end up. We've got a scoreboard out there. They've got speakers over there. You could go crashing into anything. Oh, the guy's got more nerve than I do.
He may be the only one having more fun than young Ray Whitney of San Diego, who has 2 goals and 3 assists in a 6-4 West lead after 2 periods of play. Hello again, everybody, with John Marks. Ken Doublebag with you in our second intermission. And, John, we saw 2 distinct, different periods within the second period as the East got a couple of goals, got a 2-goal lead, and then the West scores 4 in a row.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to our Between Periods activities. The Western Division leading the East by a score of 6-4. Hope you're enjoying the hockey game, and one gentleman that I'm sure is enjoying it maybe a little bit more than most is the commissioner of the International Hockey League, Tom Barry. And Tom, what a showcase here tonight.
This is great. It's just tremendous to be in Atlanta enjoying this game. I think that the fans are showing their enjoyment and the players are showing their appreciation for being All-Stars. It's a great game and we're really thrilled to be here.
Tom, I'm sure the fans that are watching this here in the Atlanta area and throughout the country wondering, how did this all come about?
Well, we've been working with our competitor league, the American Hockey League, in an attempt to get postseason game, if you will, between the two of us that we could play off each other. And unfortunately, we get about that far apart, and they say, well, sorry, we can't do it. So we just decided it was time that we put on an all-star event of our own. We've got the talent, we've got the ability, and we've got the venues. And as we showed here in Atlanta tonight, we're ready. And we're going to be in Phoenix next year. We're going to be in Fort Wayne the year after. So this is an annual event that we're really happy about and enjoying. And I think that we're going to show the fans all around the country what kind of hockey we play in the International Hockey League.
Boy, the IHL has really progressed. It's gone from a Midwest bus league to a league spanning the West and now Atlanta and the southern part of the United States. So what's next for the IHL?
Well, there's always lots of applications coming in, if you will, lots of phone calls and letters that say, hey, I'd like to play hockey in your league. And we sort through them and have an opportunity to find out whether the city can support them and whether or not the building will be able to support them and whether the people have the wherewithal to make it go. So it takes a long time, and right now we do have another team that may come in for the 92-93 season aside from Atlanta, and that may well happen within the next couple of weeks because after that we feel it's too late to start for 92-93. So we're always ready and always open to have something more come along, and we're excited. We want another Western partner, and we're looking forward to possibly having one.
Boy, this league is growing in leaps and bounds of San Diego and Phoenix and Kansas City, the most recent addition now, the Atlanta Knights.
Well, I think the pleasurable part of being a commish is that you have an opportunity to witness what people have done in their own private businesses, which gave them the wherewithal to move into the hockey field. And they take that same enthusiasm and ability, the marketing of their product, whatever it may have been in the real world, if you will, and they take that same enthusiasm and product marketing to the world of hockey. And in there, we suddenly find that we can take areas that haven't been too hockey involved to become #1 franchises, and we're able to move on into the bigger cities where they become really interested in the game of hockey. Our product is great. It's first class. It's only a fraction of a step behind the National Hockey League. We develop players, coaches, and referees who move into the National Hockey League. So we're doing our job, and in the process of doing that, we're making people and the fans see the greatest hockey in the world. So we're really enthused.
Boy, the attendance figures are absolutely terrific. Peoria drawing great crowds. Fort Wayne, I think 13 sellouts or more this season. Milwaukee, 13,000 last night. The attendance figures in this league are absolutely terrific.
That's right. Well, again, it's a credit to our owners and general managers and all the people that put their life from 9 to 9 really every day on the job. They out and they market the product, and then the players put forth such a great effort that the people come back and again to see a great evening's entertainment. And that's what we're selling is entertainment. Why we all love the game of hockey. It's entertainment we're selling, and we're really appreciative of the fact that the fans continue to come in the numbers that they have. It's amazing.
Fans may not know, but Tom Barry has been an official in pro hockey. He's also a former owner of a WHA team, the Indianapolis Racers, and you've been in charge of the officials for quite some time. No penalties through 40 minutes of play.
Well, that's the training that our officials have gotten. You know, they forgot their whistles. They got to come to a game without something.
Oh, that's true. That's coming from the commissioner right now. Tom, continued success with the IHL. We're excited about the growth of this league.
Hey, thanks very much, Mike. It's always a pleasure, and thank you to those people out there who have made this be the league that it is.
Tom Barry, commissioner of the International Hockey League. And
you know, Urbe was the starting goaltender for the Soviet national team, and when the Soviet troops invaded his home city of Riga, he quit the team. And then, of course, now the Soviet Union and the whole athletic situation up in the air over the amazing political events across the big pond. The puck goes out of the rink as we flip-flop ends again. There you see Urbe.
Gardner there. He played so well. I know San Jose's original plan was to leave him in Kansas City the whole year. Of course, they're an expansion club, lost a lot of games. They brought him up, and he played very well. He won 2 or 3 games for that hockey team. Now they sent him back again to get, work on his game, and here he is in the All-Star game. No, I got a little bit. John, go and stand in front of the net. Don't let anybody knock you down. If you're fortunate enough to get your stick on the puck and try and put it behind the goalie. I wasn't skilled enough to do anything else with the puck.
Right off the microphone. You heard that one smack right off the chest protector of Urbe.
How much is that camera worth? They're probably thinking second thoughts about having that attached to his head. The East right now is showing a lot of pride here. They've worked very hard in the first third of this period. A lot of action down by Urbe. They haven't given up just because they're down by 2 goals.
13:50 remaining in the hockey game. And the red-clad East All-Stars break out of there with a 2-on-2. Mikhailuk. The backhander from behind by... and there's a shot and a goal.
Well, he kicked out one too many rebounds to work on that percentage I was talking about. That second goal for the night for Mike Stapleton.
That was Circa who was in there keeping that puck alive.
Here we go. Play behind. Who's this? Mikhailuk again. Takes a look. Mike Stapleton finds a place to be. One save. Rebound. Comes right back to Mike. Goes through the pads or maybe up by his side. Here we go. There's this camera night cam here. Taking a look at it. There's the first shot. There's the save right back. Comes straight back to Mike. No hesitate. Whether it went through the legs or not, couldn't tell there, or off his side and in. But a second goal of the night for Stapleton and another assist from Mikhailuk. We could have a very interesting finish here.
Right in the goal crease. Number 15, Gary Emmons out of Kansas City. 22 goals to his credit so far this year, and a near miss on that one. Emmons, his drop pass just kept in, and the shot knocked down by Emmons. His own teammate McLeod fired that one across the line right in front. What a move! What a save!
Oh, if he had a shot this puck, as soon as he got the pass from Mikhailuk, I think he would have had almost an open net goal.
Callender did everything but get it in. Bradbury has it. Big defenseman. Plays it ahead. Now Messier. Messier fakes the shot, throws it in front all alone, and shot a goal!
That play was made by Mitch Messier, faking the shot. I think Urbe's moves over, but coming up the middle of the rink, I just didn't catch that player who scored the goal here.
I think
from
it was
Messier.
McLeod, but we'll take a look at it. Here's Messier.
He fakes the shot, hangs on, now watch, jumps in the hole. Who is this? Number 7, Jean-Marc Richard, jumps in the hole. It's a great move on Hervé, 6-6. But I think Hervé is looking at the Messier fake shot. Now he's got to get himself back in the position, and it's a little harder. But Jean-Marc Richard, heck of a move coming down the middle. Good read by him. Found the hole, got the pass.
A good offensive-minded defenseman for Fort Wayne, Jean-Marc Richard. 8 goals, 42 assists for 50 points for the Comets. He's a 25-year-old, born in St. Raymond, Quebec.
Do you think he was named after a famous Montreal Canadian, being that Jean-Marc is French, and that famous Montreal Canadian is Jean-Marc Beliveau. Played for years for Montreal Canadiens. Do you think his parents had something in mind when he was a youngster?
Perhaps.
Born?
And there was an outstanding play. Let's go down to Mike Barrick.
We're with Rick Dudley, scout for the Buffalo Sabres, and what have you seen here tonight?
A lot of offense. There's not a lot of hitting, which is typical of all-star games, but there's some awfully skilled people there.
Rick, you coached the Flint Spirits to a Turner Cup final series, and Don Waddell was on defense for you. Now he's coaching the West team.
Well, Donnie was actually my assistant coach also then, and he was not only a good player, but he was a great help to me as a coach, and he was one of the reasons we got to the finals, and it's good to see him doing so well.
It's an exciting game here.
It is that.
6-6 here. We'll get back to the play-by-play.
Now from behind the goal. White in the corner. Centering right in front. They score! And Heppel is able to put the West back on top with the goal to make it 7-6.
They could also be the line that gets scored on, too, I guess. Heppel snuck down for about 10 or 15 seconds. He's down low. The play is down low. He sneaks down low. He's down in here. I think someone ends up with his back to him, so he's free and clear. Here, you see the red player. He's watching the puck. Watch, he's going to watch the puck. All of a sudden, Heppel, boom, just got one more step. Got the pass. Got it away in a hurry. Everybody's got a job. Everybody's got a job in the defensive zone. The forward should have had Heppel a lot tighter in that play, especially down that low.
And again, he's the defenseman, so he was pinching in low on that play. Born in Blaydon-on-Tyne, England. Drafted by New Jersey in '82. Scores what is the lead goal at this point in time. 5 minutes, 33 seconds remaining, and there's a Fort Wayne Comet fan. I know that's a jersey that you probably don't care to see so often.
No, that's
You've
what I
seen enough
don't
of
like.
those guys.
They have a guy there that's big as a house. They call him the Twister. Does he ever get that building going?
They play a little chubby checker twist music, and this guy stands up and does the twist, and it is a sight. Now the puck dangerously moved away from the goal mouth, and the East All-Stars sent it ahead too far for Murphy. McBain trying to make a play. We got a penalty, a high stick coming up. We've got a high stick coming up. O'Halloran all of a sudden found the whistle. He blows a high stick penalty against the West All-Stars, and the East will have a chance to tie it up. Cross ice. Behind the net. Right in front. Shot of save, the rebound, another save, another rebound, knocked down by the defense. Taken away by the East. 2 minutes to go. What a play by Dobson. He kept the team Hervé way out of the net. He's in trouble. He got back in time.
Our special goalie out of the net play.
He's having fun back there.
Our special goalie out of the net play. I love it. Now Lebois fires it through the goal net. Harkins with a good play to waste time.
Going on icing here. Going on icing. Posty one man in. Okay, the puck's got it. You got to get this puck deep. They get it deep. Here we go. 6 people. I like this one this time of the game.
40 seconds remaining. The puck clear to the neutral zone. The East desperately trying to get a scoring opportunity.
We need you.
Across the line, they've got an empty net to shoot at. They fired it right up
shot, hit a foot, went off the crossbar. I think this goes off the crossbar. No, he did the right thing. People are going to say, why didn't he pass it to a guy that's open, someone else? Listen, you got the puck in your hands. Try and score. I've seen people try to make a pass, get picked off, go the other way, and you got two people caught. All of a sudden, six going back. Bobby Nichols did the right thing.
Now let's watch Urbe as he does a little wandering here with everybody from the East squad chasing.
Look, Kevin Koski said this is our goalie wandering away from that play. Keeping everybody excited. He got back. I think we have a timeout.
We're unable to do outstanding All-Stars due to injury, unable to make this outstanding game. What a save by Dobson. It's loose. And with 5 seconds remaining, the puck tied up in the east end, and this game is over.
Oh, gosh, the West has bragging rights. They have bragging rights. That's an excellent game, Ken.
A lot of fun. Congratulations right here for Urbe.
Here we have night cam, now being mall cam.
That's the other goaltender, Flaherty, who didn't face quite as many shots as Urbe did.
How's it say? That's fun.
Knocking helmets together like the old Chicago Bears, and now there's Whitney, and there's no question as to the game MVP. 2 goals and 3 assists, and the 19-year-old youngster set the pace for the West and led them to the victory.
Well, I'll tell you, San Jose's got to feel, the San Jose Sharks, that is, got to feel very good about that draft pick. Don't forget, he's playing against some people in this game that are in their later 20s, that got 3 or 4 years experience in this league, some experience in the National Hockey League, and he showed he certainly belongs at the pro level. He had a fun time. He's quick, moves the puck.
One of the great traditions in all of pro sports, and that's the congratulatory handshake at the end of a major hockey event, be it the Turner Cup in the IHL or the Stanley Cup. It's always fun to see these players, after hard-fought hockey, congratulate each other. The final score of tonight's game, 7-6 West, and we'll be back to recap all the action right after a timeout for these local messages.